Welcome everyone. Welcome to Amma Stories. This time it's a folktale from Himachal Pradesh. हिमालय के गोदी में एक प्रदेश, उसको हिमाचल प्रदेश कहते हैं. When I was reading the stories from Himachal Pradesh, some of them appeared to be absolutely absurd stories. Some were very simple and some were very chilling as snow. Many stories were ghost stories. So, oh, don't be scared. I'm not going to tell you a ghost story. This is a funny story. Of course, I hope you will laugh because I had a hearty laugh after reading this story. So, here is the story. There were two friends. In our lives, friends play an important role. True friends are people who are at our side when we are in sorrow or when we are in joyful mood. So here there were two friends and both of them lived in Kangra. That's a village or a town in Himachal Pradesh. Now one was Kulfi Ram and the other was Dhania. So Dhania and Kulfi Ram, they were thick friends. From childhood they had grew up together, went to same school and had lots of fun, and now they had grown up to young men and had married and were living happy lives. But Dhania was a simpleton in the sense he was nervous about everything. Suppose a person asks him to go to that shop and buy something, he feels nervous. And in his nervousness, he will do just the opposite and come back. And for each and everything, he ran to Kulfi Ram. And Kulfi Ram was more than happy to help out Dhania. So one day, when Kulfi Ram was attending to his chores, by the way, Kulfi Ram was the village barber. So he was shaving somebody's head, and that time Dhania came to him very nervous. And Dhania said, "Please, Kulfi Ram, please help me. You have to help me, otherwise I'm going to die." So Kulfi Ram, he was also a little bit, um, what I would say, like he was also a little bit fearful, or maybe he didn't know the reason for Dhania's nervousness. So he asked Dhania, "What has happened to you? What happened? Did you do anything wrong? Is the police coming after you?" Dhania said, "No, no, no, not anything like that. Tomorrow I have to visit my wife's house." Ha, Kulfi Ram said, "That's a happy thing. You should go to her house." But Dhania said, "No, Kulfi Ram, no, no, no. I'm getting nervous. You should accompany me." Kulfi Ram said, "Okay, okay, I'll come with you. Now you go home." So Dhania went home, and next day morning, Kulfi Ram and Dhania set out to Dhania's wife's house. It was a custom there to call the bridegroom to bride's house and give him some gifts and food and all those things. But on the way, Kulfi Ram told him two things. One is Dhania should not open his mouth, because the moment he opens his mouth, Dhania would utter something nonsense. So don't do that. Second is Dhania should eat very little. And both these conditions, Dhania agreed. And they went. And it was lunchtime when they reached Dhania's wife's house. The parents were eagerly waiting for these people, but and when they asked something, or when they asked Dhania, because they were very happy to see Dhania, it is their daughter's husband, isn't it? They welcomed Dhania with open arms, but whatever they asked, Dhania kept quiet. And Kulfi Ram said, Dhania doesn't speak much. He's very reserved. So the in laws kept quiet and they gave food. Our Kulfi Ram, he went on eating every morsel of food. He went on eating, 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 eating. Poor Dhania, he was told not to eat much. So he just took two handfuls of food and he said, now I am done. My stomach is full. The in laws were a little disappointed because they had prepared a lot of food items. Now, after that, Kulfi Ram got up. Oh, he said, because his stomach had become so full. And then he said, oh, again. And he went and washed his hands. And he said, now let us sleep. So the in-laws agreed because whatever they tried to speak to Dhania, Dhania was not answering anything. So the in-laws had arranged a room for these two people to sleep, and Kulfi Ram and Dhania went to sleep there. But after some time, Dhania felt very hungry. His stomach was grumbling. He could not sleep, and he said, oh Kulfi Ram, get up. I can't sleep. I'm feeling very, very hungry. Kulfi Ram said, shh. Now what shall we do? Food is over. Dhania said, please, please get me some food. Otherwise, I am going to die of hunger. So Kulfi Ram said, shh, let me see something. So he went out and peeped out. In the dark, he saw a room and there was something hanging in the inside the room. But it was so dark that he couldn't see it very clearly. So he said, shh, the food is there, I think. I saw your mother-in-law going to that room and bringing out butter. That means it's a storehouse or a storeroom. They might have stored some food there. So go get it. So Dhania said, okay. And he crept inside the room. But it was pitch dark. He couldn't see anything. So he used his hands to search everywhere. And finally, he saw a pot hanging. So he tried to reach the pot, but the pot was at a height that he could not reach. So what did he do? He took a stick and broke the pot. Something began to drip from the pot. What was it? You know, it was honey. And Dhania got completely drenched in honey. He tried to lick some honey and the honey went to his nose, his eyes, his ears, everywhere. It was honey, honey, honey. He called out to Kulfi Ram. He said, Kulfi Ram, please save me, please save me. Kulfi Ram could not control his laughter. But somehow he tried to help Dania, and in that uh, melee, he broke some of the pots. And hearing this sound, the in-laws came. And oh, what did they see? They saw a figure, a black figure, standing in the room. And you remember, it is pitch dark, no one can see anything. So they got frightened and they said, "Oh!" The mother-in-law fainted, and the father-in-law fainted on her. It was such a mess there. Finally, Kulfi Ram took some water and put it onto the father-in-law's face. So father-in-law got up and asked, "What is it? What is it? Who is that?" So Kulfi Ram said, "Oh, it's a ghost." "Now what shall we do?" said father-in-law. By the time the mother-in-law had also got up. "So what shall we do?" In When they were talking, our Dhania got scared and he ran to the next room where cotton bales were kept, and all the cotton stuck onto his face, and he was completely covered in cotton. So now he looked more terrible. And Kulfiram said, "Shh, I will take that ghost to the well and send him out." So the in-laws agreed, and Kulfiram took Dania to the well, gave him a good bath, and hid his cotton sticking clothes, honey, all that sticking clothes to under the under some pot or something, under some basket or something that was lying near the well. And they both returned. The in-laws were actually um, frightened, so they did not utter any word. And then after some time, it was morning. So Kulfiram said, "We are leaving." And Dania folded his hands and asked for permission. So the in-law said, "Okay, okay, go away," because they wanted these people to go away anyhow. So Dania and Kulfiram came out of the house and they walked to their village. While walking from a shop, they had some kulfi and jalebis and other things, and they went home laughing all the way. So this is the story from Himachal Pradesh. Hope you liked it. Please share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. Till we meet next time with another story. Tata. Bye bye.